So if you've been on Twitter, maybe for the last 2 hours, it's like Twitter usually is. It's a storm. Everyone is going crazy. People are just going bananas. And what's making them go bananas this time? Well, it has come out recently, very recently. This only broke a couple hours ago. The star of the Scream franchise, I believe the character she played was Sarah Carpenter. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. She was getting ready to do her third installment. She was in Scream 5, she was in Scream 6, she was going on to do Scream 7, and out of nowhere, they fired her. And they fired her with really no explanation at first. There was a lot of hearsay going on. We don't know what happened, and now we do. This comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter, and here's what they have to say about this whole situation. Melissa Barrera is no longer starring in Scream 7. The actor was dropped from the project after a series of social media posts in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war. Now, they have her quote of exactly what she said here. YouTube is weird. If you say certain words, you can get demonetized. I don't know exactly where this lands, so I'm not going to read her quote. You can see it on screen. You can read the entire quote about what she has said. It's pro-Palestine, so that's a big part of why this is happening. And so it goes on to say that the spokesperson for Spyglass, the company behind the Scream franchise, issued a statement after the initial publications of the articles. Spyglass' stance is unequivocally clear. We have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism or the incitement of hate in any form, including false references to, you can see the word there, ethnic cleansing, the H word from World War II, or anything that flagrantly crosses the line into hate speech. Okay, so like I said, I don't want to read all those words because YouTube can be weird. I might get demonetized just for saying the H word. But anyways, guys, so yeah, this broke huge this afternoon that this star of Scream has been fired. Now, I do not agree with this. Let me just put that out there first of all. I don't agree with this person, this even though she's a public figure, speaking her mind, speaking what she believes, putting it out on social media, and this company firing her. I don't in any way believe that was right. The studio, if that's what they think they want to do with the movie, I don't agree with them. But it's their movie. Maybe she can fight it in court or something. I don't know. But as far as right now, I will say I don't agree with the studio. This is their decision. But if they're gonna do this, they own the movie. They can do it whatever they want with it. This is what they're gonna do. Now, what I will say, without going into the politics of it all, because this is not a political channel, I'm not going to talk about the politics of everything. I just want to talk about the movie specifically. And what I will say that this move does is this movie, at least in my opinion and in my viewing, it severely hurts Scream 7. And it severely hurts Scream 7 and I'll tell you why I believe that this severely hurts Scream 7 is because this was not just the star of the arguably this was our lead character, especially Scream 6. There was a lot of development and focus put on this character's growth specifically. The whole movie kind of revolved around what this character was going through, even more so than I would say Jenna Ortega. And there's already been some rumors or reports that Jenna Ortega is also out of this franchise. She doesn't want to do it anymore. Whether that's 100% confirmed, I'm not quite clear. But what this does specifically for me is this really lessens my attachment to this franchise, because when you came back with Scream, you had Neve Campbell in the first film, Sidney and Dewey and all those people, and they were the heart and soul, they were the core of the Scream franchise. When you came back and did the reboot, and you had them in there, but you needed to get new characters, and you needed to get the audience to get behind and in love with new characters. And how did they do that for me specifically is with these sisters, is with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. The relationship between these two characters and these sisters, that was where the heart of Scream lied for me in this new iteration. It made it more than just another slasher franchise. Like, you guys know me, I'm not a huge fan of horror movies. Not that I'm not a huge fan, it's just they're not my preferred viewing. And slashers for me, I don't prefer slashers necessarily, but when you can take a slasher and elevate it by having a compelling character or putting heart into that, it makes it instantly that much more relatable and more interesting to me than just watching people get slashed up for the sake of getting slashed up. And that's what these two characters did. That's what these two actresses were. That's a huge feat. If you really like, we love Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott. Like, we love Courteney Cox in there as Gale and David Arquette as Dewey. And to have those characters take a little bit more of a back seat and put in new characters in front of them, I mean, that can go sideways with the audience very quickly. But what they were able to do with this Scream iteration, with the continuation of the franchise, is they got us to love these new characters. And specifically for me, they got me to love these sisters and their sisterly bond. And if we're not going to have that sisterly bond, if we're not going to have these characters, if we're not going to have them involved with the conclusion of this new Scream trilogy, that right there, I think, is detrimental to this franchise and to the story that they were building with this new Scream series. Now, I've seen some people online, they're also saying, well, you could recast her. There's an option of recasting her and all. And I could definitely see them going that route. That's definitely an option for them to go, is recasting. But first of all, with all the stuff going on Twitter, I mean, you've got hardcore Scream fans, and again, this is the minority. We're in our little bubble. I'm not speaking for the general audience that, you know, just sees that a new Scream movie's coming out and they go and see it. But these hardcore fans online, they are like boycotting this thing. They are standing behind this actress 100%. They're saying they're not going to see any more of the Scream movies if this happens. So if you recast, not only do you set the fire even more to those people that want to boycott and don't even want to see this thing, but that poor actress that gets recast in this role, I don't know if any actress out there would want to take the heat from that right now, especially when you just look at how it's just chaotic it is on Twitter. But yeah, for me, guys, I think if the studio wants to do this with their movie, I guess that's their choice. But to me, this is a huge mistake to do with this franchise. And I think that the decision to fire this actress is just going to hurt it in the long run. Well, thank you very much for checking out this clip from our live show that we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called Zach Milne Talks Live. If you like talking movies, if you like talking movie news, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave? We do that on this channel all the time. But if you still need some time before you fully commit, you can check out the full video this clip is from right here, and you can check out another video over here. The subscribe button's right here.